Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Wednesday, February 6th, 2019. It's the 114th day of the NBA season. Welcome back. Oh, let me fix that sound. 114th day of the NBA season, the 127th day of the NHL season. In the NHL's case, 127 is the 31st prime. For the date numerology, we have 47, 20, 27, and 8. It's the 37th day of the year. That's the 12th prime. Always remember your prime number relationships. They're numbers that could play. In terms of the actual date numbers, the only prime was 47, the 15th prime. Before we get into today's games, we'll review yesterday. Yesterday, the basketball picks, we got on the wrong side of the TNT riddle. Denham had it right yesterday. It was the Chris Bosh tribute, seemingly. And there were a couple of games that surprised outside of just that TNT getting on the wrong side of that. NHL and college basketball went fairly well. If only we went with the 18 upset riddle on ESPN again for Michigan State. That was the big payout. I doubted that was going to happen, but it did. That was the one to get. So we'll review the games. Clippers, Hornets. Yesterday was the 113th day of the NBA season. 113 is the 30th prime. Doc Rivers equals 113. He was going up against Michael Jordan's team. Michael Jordan 113. Said the Clippers had a chance, but I did favor the Hornets. The 26 date numerology had me thinking the Hornets would pick up their 26th win against the Clippers, and the Clippers would get their 26th loss. Jordan equals 26. Again, I was thinking about the Super Bowl. We just saw the big Jordan-related ritual with 26. All the halftime performers wearing Jordans. The LA team went down, but that's not how it went. In terms of the Clippers picking up their 15th away win, I don't know if this is coincidental or not, but it's something to think about. Charlotte, NC, like you'd write the town on the envelopes, 47, the 15th prime. Probably had more to do with the 1-1-3-30 thing, but I thought the 26s were the stronger play yesterday. So that was wrong. Figured the Celtics would get their 35th win over King James's old team and become 13-13 on the road. Again, King James 35. King James became a king at 13 months. LeBron won his only championship with the Cavs in his 13th season. I do think the Cavs are still holding the LeBron James riddles. And I do expect in 2022, LeBron will return to Cleveland. If you missed what I covered this past summer, the story ESPN put out theorizing that, you got to go back and check that out. The story came out July 22nd, 2018, how LeBron's going to return to Cleveland in 2022, and it's going to turn everything around for the city of Cleveland. So Lakers-Pacers. This was a close game in numbers. I said I favored the Pacers, but I thought it was dangerous. Lo and behold, it ends up being a 42-point blowout. Remember, Indiana Pacers and LeBron James both equal 114. LeBron James also equals 42. It's always a symbolic game. This is why you get the 42-point loss. And with regards to the Pacers winning with 136, that's the 16th triangular number. This is LeBron's 16th season. So they did get their 35th win against King James. Again, tight riddle. If you got to pick every game, I'd just go with the home teams. Just playing the law averages. Pistons did beat the Knicks. Now the Knicks have lost 14 straight and got their 43rd loss, 43, the 14th prime. Oftentimes streaks end at 14, but in this case, the Knicks' next game is against the Pistons in Detroit, and Detroit equals 44. So this is a streak that has the potential to go past 14 games. Raptors, 76ers. The Raptors had a little riddle yesterday. I was thinking the 76ers would get their 35th win against the Raptors, though. Raptors equals 35. They announced on the 35th day of the year they're retiring Chris Bosh's number. The day of this game was the 36th day of the year, and Toronto, whoops, I got to spell it right. Toronto does have that strong 36 connection, but things don't always go that way just because you're playing on the date that corresponds with your city name. To me, what seemed like the most likely riddle was getting that 35th win over the Raptors. That was the clearest read to me, plus the whole revelation thing. The revelation thing really was on the board, and oftentimes those revelation riddles go in the way of Philadelphia, but not this time. Raptors got that 39th win. And that's what I overlooked yesterday. Remember, Derek set up the default recently. It didn't used to be this way. He shouldn't have done this. If you type in 76ers, it adds the numbers. It's not supposed to. 76ers does have Gematria 39, and I totally neglected that yesterday. That was a big omission because it did give the Raptors the shot at their 39th win, and they did get their 39th win. So that was the big overlook yesterday. My fault. Again, that's why it's good to be super thorough. But yeah, that was a miss. I'm really starting to hate the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. These are teams where things will line up for them. And, like, for example, the Timberwolves had a shot at their 26th win on the 26th day, and they didn't get it again. So I'm starting to think the Timberwolves are like one of Detroit Lions in the NFL. You know, they're on some other script or something. That Prince Purple Rain jersey riddle they had earlier this year, though, that was something else. But I don't know. The Timberwolves have had a number of games where a lot lines up for them and they just don't pull it out. The Grizzlies didn't have any alignment yesterday that I saw. It was their 55th game against the team from Minneapolis 55, but I don't know. Seems to me the Timberwolves should have got that number 26 on the 26th day. I don't see any again, I don't see any riddle for the Grizzlies. So Magic did lose to the Thunder. Thunder picked up their 34th win. Orlando 34. That's what we expected. Heat beat the Trailblazers. I'm starting to think with every Heat game we need to be measuring with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade did not miss a shot in the second half yesterday. Dwayne Wade made every shot and just killed the Blazers. And this is Dwayne Wade's final season. He's on his farewell tour. But again, we pointed out yesterday, the riddles with the TNT game. Raptors and Heat, Chris Bosh. 76ers and Trailblazers. That's the 76-77 NBA Finals. This season began on the day leaving 76 days left in the year. I was thinking because the season began on the day leaving 76 days left in the year to pay tribute to that 76 championship season and the home teams were going to take it last night. But that was not the case. And I just want to look at Dwayne Wade real quick. January 17th, so the game was 19 days after his birthday. I want to see what his stats are. Maybe we need to look at Dwayne Wade each time the Heat play, what his stats are versus the team he's facing. I want to see what he is against the Blazers now. He was the Blazer assassin last night. What's up, caller?
Yeah, what's going on, Zach?
Doing the live stream. Are you here?
Yeah. From yesterday, man, a couple things. For that Memphis game, I remember when you was when teams was picking up their 25th win, and it seemed like they was doing it over Memphis. So I noticed that the Timberwolves did stay on 25.
That's true. That's a good point. They stayed on 25 against them.
Right. And they kept getting, and teams kept picking up their 25th win over Memphis. So that's something we can probably look further in. And then on that for the Miami game yesterday and the Toronto game, I noticed both of them had 39. Both of the teams stayed on 39 for the head-to-head. They both had 39. So I don't know if you can put 39 on both of those teams and see if you can find some.
You're saying this.
The head-to-head from 76ers and Toronto. Toronto stayed 76ers stayed on 39, and then I believe the Miami and Portland. The Portland Trailblazers stayed on 39 head-to-head wins.
Okay, I got to think about that one. Yeah, there must be something there with that because the Raptors also got their 39th win on the season. So.
Right. And I know you know your numbers, right? You do know about the 3-6-9. They go together. It's like a family. That's correct, right?
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I had a clear read over that Pacers game. It was the 90th game. somebody with the 30 was Indiana, and then Lakers stayed at 60. So that was the 3-6-9. That was like perfect for the. I don't know how you didn't mention nothing about it, but that was a perfect head-to-head from yesterday.
Okay.
3-6-9 lined it up. It was the 90th game. Lakers stayed at 60, and Indiana moved to 30.
Okay, great observations. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
All right, take care, man. So Dwayne Wade became 14-14 against the Trailblazers. Let's see. Miami Heat's 43, the 14th prime. Blazers, the shortened way, is also 43, the 14th prime. So Dwayne Wade became 14-14 against that team. All right, I'm gonna look at Dwayne Wade every game they play this year. I mean, he was the assassin in that game. It was the Dwayne Wade show. Every shot in, except for his lay-in at the end. He missed a lay-in. He made a bunch of difficult shots, missed his easy lay-in right at the bucket. Okay, so here, just a little more review real quick. I'm saying I think my new rule is don't doubt the 18s and the upsets on ESPN, even if the date numerology says otherwise. So Tennessee, Duke, those were easy calls. Kentucky, nothing surprising there. Michigan did prevail over Rutgers. No, we said no reason for NC State to upset North Carolina. This was the game we looked at, and it was on ESPN again, and we said, 18 ESPN upset. Could it happen? The difference was yesterday had 19 date numerology, so I was believing they probably would get the 19th win over lowly Illinois, but it wasn't so. Another upset. So Michigan State upset in back-to-back games, staying on those 18 wins. Again, upset equals 18. The prior upset against Indiana was a better team, and Indiana had good numbers for the day. I didn't really see anything for Illinois, so it's just got to be that 18 upset thing for Michigan State right now. They got beat on their home court, and then they got beat on the road. Marquette stayed on 19 wins on the 19 date, and Kansas State did get the better of Kansas. I believe this game was ESPN too. They didn't get their 18th on ESPN, so that one was a little bit of a surprise right there. And then in the NHL, things went quite well with the date numerology. Things went quite well with the date numerology. The games we looked at, they went in our favor yesterday. Seems like in the last 2 weeks, NHL's been the most favorable for us. Sabres got that 26th win on the 26th. Penguins got upset by the Hurricanes at home. We pointed out how they could get that 26. Canadians beat the Ducks. Something about the series record there. I forget. There were a few other games we looked at, but anyway. Hockey seems to be our best friend in recent days. So let's do it again. Let's do today's games. Again, let's review our date numerology. Let's get our standings up here too. And, again, date numerology is February 6, 2019. Again, the 114th day of the NBA season, 127th day of the NHL season. That's the 31st prime. We got a date with 47 numerology, the 15th prime, 20, 27, 8, and it's the 37th day of the year, the 12th prime. So these are the numbers we got to keep in our mind as we look at the standings, team names. The Nuggets, they're on 37. Playing the Brooklyn Nets. And again, we have the 47 date. That's the 15th prime. I see they have a chance to get their 15th win and stay at 12 losses on the 37th day of the year, the 12th prime. Let's see. Let's look at the Nuggets Nets head-to-head. This will not be a conference or division game. So they played once this year. They played on a date with 38 and 58 numerology. The Nuggets got edged out by the Nets. Notice the Nets won with 112 points. Brooklyn 112. They love that number. The time before that, they played the Nuggets won with 112. Comical. And then the 111s too. New York's 111. Seems that their games are often right around that score. Okay, so this will be the last game between these two teams tonight. Let's see. Nets trying to get that 41st win, the 13th prime. Nuggets trying to get the 50th. Okay, I'm looking at Johnny says Nuggets can get 50 YH. All right, hold on. Nets is 50. Brooklyn's 41. Nets. Hold on. Nuggets. Denver. Nuggets. I don't see a strong enough indicator either way because I can make a narrative for both teams. I mean, the Nuggets could theoretically get their 13th loss tonight. Nets 13. Good team to get that 13th loss again. And that would give the Nets their 41st win in the series, 41 the 13th prime. Nets is 13. Brooklyn's also 41. But then at the same time, like I said, we have the 47 date, the 15th prime. So to me, you know, again, I don't like when I can make a narrative either way. I do not like that. Because then I always end up kicking myself when I pick one way and I say, man, I acknowledge that narrative. I shouldn't have doubted it. I see Denham's in the chat. Good job, Denham. You had the TNT riddle read right last night. All right, Pelicans, Bulls. Pelicans, Bulls. Okay. So just right away in the Bulls record, I'm seeing a potential for a strong prime number relationship. I'm seeing the Bulls could be 13 and 41. You know, 41 the 13th prime. So that's screaming out at me. Let's see what these teams have done head to head. This is going to be the 38th game. The Bulls lead 22-15. That means the next one's that Magic 23. I think Jordan has an association with New Orleans, though. It's going to be the 26th home game for the Bulls, the 26th home game. We know about the relationship with 6 and 26. Again, we just saw that play out in the Super Bowl in a huge way. 6th equals 26. I don't know if the Bulls are still carrying Jordan rituals. Maybe they do until the end of their franchise. But, you know, Jordan 26. Let's see. The Pelicans could be stopped at 23 wins, too. It's the Bulls' 54th game of the season. New Orleans is 54. We know that. We're keeping that in mind for next year's Super Bowl. Let's see. The one thing in prime numbers, no, that wouldn't work out. That wouldn't work out. I take it back. Let's just double check here. Pelicans. Not a 15 on the board, is there? Hold up. I got to pull up one more site here. One more site I need on the repertoire. for these games that are not in the same conference where they haven't met in the playoffs, it's probably good to use the M cube to see what the team's records are against the opponent. We can do that for the Nets and the Nuggets. I'll go back and look at this Nets and Nuggets in a second too. I need to remember to do this each time. So the Bulls at home against New Orleans. 11-7. Okay, so I like this. I like this because today's the 37th day of the year. It's the 37th day of the year. Chicago's 37, the 12th prime. The Bulls can get that 12th home win against New Orleans. So I'm a fan of that. The only thing that's halfway crooked about that is you could say, well, they could also stay at 12 wins. But again, that 13-41 thing, that 6th win in their 26th game, I think that's a pretty good riddle right there. Getting that 12th win at home on this day against this team. Let me come back and look at Brooklyn real quick. The Brooklyn Nets at home against the Denver Nuggets. 28-15. So this is going to be the. It's going to be the. No, this will be the, what is that? 44th game. 44th. Yeah, it still doesn't help me out. I think this game is really dangerous right here. All right, I like the Bulls to get it done tonight. I like the Bulls to get it done. Wizards Bucks. So this is going to be the Bucks' 53rd game. I don't see any 16s on the board for them though. Bucks Wizards. Okay, just want to make sure they're not in the same division. I can't remember who's in what division in the NBA. All right, so it's a conference game. 27-7 for the Bucks. The Wizards are 15-20. Let's come back. All right, let's look at the head-to-head here. John, where did you get your stat from that the Bulls can fall to 6-6 versus New Orleans Pelicans? That's not what we just looked at. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
I was wondering if you thought maybe 21 would be an important number today, since it is the 6th triangular number and 8th Fibonacci number, and today's the 6th with 8.
2 plus 6 is 8? That's a good thought there about 21. That is a good thought about 21. Yeah, you could be – yeah, that's a good thought.
I thought maybe the Pelicans could stay on 21 away losses. The Bulls could pick up their 21st home loss.
Yeah, that is a thought. That is a thought. They could also just get their 6th home win on the 6th. 13's the 6th prime, too. They can get their 13th win on the 6th. So.
Anyway, I just thought maybe 21 would be an important number today.
Yeah, I'm going to think about that. That is a really good observation. So.
All right, later.
All right, appreciate it. Hold on, I want to go back and see what he was saying about 6-6. I didn't. Where? How's the 6-6 franchise thing working? Okay. I don't see the 6-6 thing he's talking about. Wizards and Bucks. Okay, coming back to this game. Milwaukee's a huge favorite. 37th day of the year, 12-point favorite. Milwaukee equals 37, the 12th prime. That's got to be where that comes from. 37th day, 12th prime. And Bucks going for their 119th win. We'd have 119 and a 93 in the series with the Bucks win Saturn numbers. Saturn's biggest number is 21, the 6th triangular number. And that would give the Wizards their 21st away loss. So, yeah, but I mean, it's not a big payout. But yeah, Bucks got good numbers to win that one, I'd say. Mavericks, Hornets. Okay. We have the 27 date numerology today. I see the Hornets could even up their record at 27-27. They could also get their 8th away win and give the Mavericks their 8th home loss. We got the 8 numerology today, too. Let's see. Let's look at what the home record is for the Mavericks versus the Hornets. They're 20-8 at home against the Hornets. So the one thing in Dallas's favor is they could potentially get that 21st win. Talking about the little riddle with 21 today. '57th game. Hornets can potentially get their 19th win. That's the 8th prime. Again, we got the 8 date numerology and the 8s. Again, Hornets can get that 8th win. Mavericks can get that 8th loss. You can even it at 27-27. Teams played earlier this year, January 2nd. So they played 35 days ago. Just run the numbers here real quick. Hornets, Mavericks. Wait a minute, who won the last one? Mavericks won the last. Mavericks won the last one convincingly. They won by 38, and Mavericks equals 38. Okay. Dallas Mavericks. Charlotte Hornets. 231, the 21st triangular number. It's the 29th game. Dallas, a 5.5-point favorite. The other thing about this is Dallas has a chance to get their 19th home win on this date, which is also the 8th prime. This game is it's risky because we can make a little narrative both ways. I think the Hornets have a little bit better numbers. It's obviously the better payout. They're on the road as an underdog. But there's definitely a risk factor here. Maybe shy away from that game. Okay. Jazz, Suns. And oh, okay. I just saw John's comment about since they moved to New Orleans, not counting the old franchise. I see. Denham says he really likes the Hornets in this game. They do have the better numbers. Denham had the hot hand with the TNT read yesterday. All right, Suns Jazz. It's another huge spread here. It's not a real exciting game to look at. Let's just see see in case there's an upset narrative in the cards here. Suns' next win against them is their 93rd. How about that? The Sun 93 million miles away. This is going to be the 181st game tonight. That's the 42nd prime number. Arizona's 42. I don't think the game's in Arizona, though. Let's see. Utah. Jazz. These teams in the same division. Oh, they're not same conference though. Suns have 27 conference losses. The Suns could potentially get their 8th win today in an upset. Just run this here. Phoenix. Suns. Again, today is the 37th day of the year. That's the 12th prime. The Suns have a chance at their 12th win. I don't see. Yeah, there's really not strong numbers either way for the head-to-head to see anybody picking up the right win number, the date numerology. Just the only thing, I'm just trying to think if there could be an upset here. Suns are kind of a wild card team. It is the 37th day. That's the 12th prime. It's nice to find those upsets. I'm just going to look at the Suns Jazz all time at the home court. Of course, these teams have met in the playoffs. I just want to see real quick, get any additional information. Utah Jazz versus Phoenix Suns. Let's see. Their next loss at home is the 35th. When do these teams play again? Again, March 13th. 16. They play again on a date with 35 numerology. Suns is 35. I wonder if that's the better game for them to get the 93rd win in. Because again, the sun 93 million miles away. So they say. The game's at home, too. Yeah, that's right. Pope Francis, too, huh? Catholic 35. I didn't notice the Michigan Rutgers score. Let's look at it real quick since you asked. That's not the right game. 77-65, so 142 points. Win by 12. Yeah, just that Suns game. It's just got me wondering, man. It's got me wondering. Just the fact they could get that 12th win on the 37th day. Big underdogs would be a good payout, but couldn't find any other strong numbers. Other than their next one's their 93rd. That's a special one. Six years of Pope Francis on the 13th, the 6th prime. All right, Rockets, Kings. Yeah, good point, Adam. And the Patriots just became 6-5 in Super Bowls. All right, Rockets, Kings. So it's the Kings' 54th game. It's the Rockets' 54th game as well. We have this 47 date numerology, the 15th prime. Let's see what their head-to-head is. Kings are at that magic number 89, King James 89. Rockets next wins their 131st, which is the 32nd prime number. And I see they're going for their 32nd win, too. So they get their 131st win, the 32nd prime, and get their 32nd win of the season. Houston has that 32 connection. They're not playing in Houston. They're on the road. Sacramento's got the 37 connection. It's the 37th day of the year. If Sacramento pulled it out, Houston would stay at 12 wins. 37's the 12th prime. Sacramento Kings. Kings have, what was it, 89 wins. That's the 24th prime. They're at 24 wins. Sacramento Kings got the square root of 13. Rockets won earlier this year at home. I want to see how many days it was from the last game. November 17th to today. 81 days or a span of 82. Kings could get that 26 loss on the date that is 2-6. That's another thing that's right there on the surface. Could stay at 28 wins against the Rockets. It's Harden 28 as well. Oh. Sacramento Kings 61, the 18th prime. What's their conference standings here? They're in separate divisions, right? Same conference, separate divisions. Yeah. All right, so conference, Rockets. Rockets theoretically could get their 15th loss in the conference today, too. 47 date the 15th prime. Same time, Sacramento could stay on 15 wins in the conference. Sacramento CA 41, 13th prime. I favor the Rockets here, but I can make a narrative either way. So I can make a better case for the Rockets, but just even the fact that there's some numbers on the board for the Kings. I think the Rockets got the better narrative. So, all right, Spurs Warriors. Oh, speaking of which, ESPN. So this is a doubleheader. So Wizards Bucks. We're expecting the Bucks to get that one. I'm just thinking about if there's any riddles between these teams. Wizards, Bucks, Spurs, Warriors. I don't see the riddle with those teams. All right, so ESPN. ESPN, the land of 54 is the game's in Oracle tonight. Oracle's 54, ESPN's 54. It's the Warriors' 53rd game. I just see on the surface they could potentially get that 16th loss, 53 the 16th prime. It's the Spurs' 56th game. All right, let's see what's going on here. It's going to be the 169th game, square root of 13. Spurs are at 108 wins. Oracle's 108. Golden State Warriors 108. Warriors next wins their 61st. That's the 18th prime. They played on November 18th, the 322nd day of the year. How many days ago was that? 80 days or a span of 81. All right. If the Warriors won, the Spurs would be plus 47. Is that right? Plus 47, the 15th prime. We got this 47 date numerology. Let's see. What about the conference records? 22-10, 23-16. So the concerning thing here for the Warriors is they could stay at 37 wins on the 37th day of the year, and they could pick up their 16th loss in their 53rd game. Because that goes with the date. Golden State is a big old favorite. Man, 14.5. Just thinking about these other numbers here on the board. Today has the 21 connection. Saturn 2193, Spurs 2193. Oracle Arena has the 93 thing too. Again, today's the 6th. 21's the 6th triangular number. Let's see how today lines up with the star players for the Warriors. Steph Curry's birthday is March 14th. It's 47 weeks after his birthday. 47 date. Again, if the Warriors win, Spurs have a 47-game margin on them. Upcoming birthday, 36 days or a span of 37 on the 37th day. How about Kevin Durant? His birthday is September 29th. 130 days or a span of 131. What's up, caller?
Hey, Shaq. This is Izzy. Just something something you might take a look at the game on Odd Chart. There's an injury report where you can see, and it gives you a clue in, where you can take a lean on. Like for that game on the San Antonio versus Golden State, there's about like 3 players that are out for San Antonio and one that's questionable. So it just, so you have an idea. And then there's the other game that we looked, Chicago and the New Orleans Pelicans. Their main player, Anthony Davis, he's out, definitely. And then on top of that, there's like about 4 other players that are out. So that means, 3 other players and another one that's questionable versus Chicago. So that's kind of a little telltale sign, I'm leaning on Chicago on the Bulls.
Yeah, we like the Bulls. We like the Bulls. They got a good read today.
So that's something, if you kind of iffy on a team, look on Odd Chart and look on the injuries. And sometimes they'll tell you out, questionable, doubtful. And that's something can help you, lean on a certain team.
Sure, yeah, that's a good tip. Sometimes they have these guys sit to throw off the gamblers, but with Rosen and Aldridge out, it's hard to imagine them competing in this game. So.
All right.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
All right, take care, man.
All right, bye. All right, you too.
Yeah, the only thing though is with those players out, everyone's gonna probably thinking that the Warriors will cover this spread. So it is interesting that the game's exactly 47 weeks after Curry's birthday. 47 date numerology, and with the Warriors win, it cuts the Spurs margin to 47. 47 is the number associated with time, and Saturn's associated with time. Not every game goes the 53-16 pattern. What's up, Berkeley?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Hey, I like the Warriors to win their next 3 home games.
Okay.
Because if they do, that 3rd home game will be against the Utah Jazz, and that date will be February 12th. February 12th, written 12/2, like 122. Pope Francis 122. And the reason is because that date to the Society of Jesus formation date, is 227 days.
Huh.
Like 22 divided by 7.
Uh-huh.
It'll also be 44 weeks exactly to Pope Francis' next birthday, and the word circle equals 44 in Hebrew. So I think that it's going to be a pie/circle ritual in tribute to the Society of Jesus. And what's interesting is if they win their next 3 home games, they'll have a 22-7 record at home. 22-7, like 22 divided by 7 pi.
Right.
So I like that riddle a lot, and especially with what the caller just said about, the Spurs players being out. I think they have a pretty good chance to beat the Spurs tonight. And then I think they have some pretty weak opponents. Let's see. So I like them to beat the Spurs at home, the Heat at home, that'll probably happen, and then the Jazz at home on February 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, if the Suns do upset tonight, then the Jazz would get 16-11 in their home record. And then what I found interesting is that the Mormon Church of Latter-day Saints, their official Bible is the King James Bible.
That's true.
So also interesting is Suns, I think.
So hey, about that King James thing, it is the Jazz's 55th game. King James does equal 55. So yeah, that fits in there.
Yeah. Also, there's the 37-12 thing going for them, like you said. But I also saw that if they win, they get 523 in their away record. The Suns do.
Right.
I don't know how that relates. Maybe you can connect it, but 523 is the 99th prime. So there might be something there. Let's see. Also, the Jazz next franchise loss is their 114th prime. I think that might be the home franchise record, but if that connects to anything.
Today's the 114th day of the NBA season.
Oh, interesting.
So the Jazz, say that again about the Jazz in the prime.
What was that?
What was it? The Jazz next franchise loss is the 114th prime?
Yeah, I just don't want to give any misinfo, but I'm pretty sure I had that in my notes. People can verify for themselves, but I believe their next franchise home loss is the 114th prime, and people can verify it.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out right now. Great observation.
But yeah, I really like the Warriors riddle a lot. I probably won't pay a lot, but if you just parlay them throughout the next 3 days, you might be able to multiply your bets. So
sure.
I really like the Warriors riddle, the 227.
Okay, great observation. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's check this thing out about Utah. So see if I can get there. Or hold on, how do I do that again? Utah Jazz at home. So their next loss at home is the 6/19th, 619. Their next loss at home is 619, and that is the 114th prime. And this is the 114th day of the NBA season. Wow. Well, I think this game is very interesting right here. Suns Jazz. So I don't know why Lake and P is always coming to the chat and talking real big. His attitude is just so wrong because he's the master of big, bold picks that are completely wrong. You gotta, dude, your attitude never changes. So, I mean, you can't respect a guy who's wrong more often than not and talks big. You gotta, humble up. Keep telling me that. What are we moving too fast on? We spent an hour on the NBA. I don't know what we're moving too fast on. Here, let's review real quick. Nuggets, Nets, I'd stay away from this game tonight. You can make an argument either way. The Nuggets have a chance to stay on 37 wins on the 37th day of the year. They could pick up their 13th loss, Nets 13. But there's an argument for the Nuggets to get the W2. I'd just stay away from that game. Bulls can become 13-41, prime number relationships. They can get their 6th win in their 26th home game. There was something else there too. And then it was pointed out that Anthony Davis isn't playing tonight. The Bucks had good numbers to win, but they're a big favorite. Milwaukee's 37, 37th day of the year, 12-point favorite, 37 to 12 prime. The Hornets-Mavericks game's iffy. There was the Hornets could become 27-27 on the 27 day, but the Mavericks got a little narrative too. The Suns have good numbers to pull off an upset tonight. And if you're feeling on making that pick, money line will pay a lot, but probably the safer thing to do is just pick them to cover the spread. That way, even if they get edged out, because we see a lot of times where these really weak teams, they'll play a team tough where they have good numbers. They don't quite pull it out, but again, they could get that 12th win on the 37th day of the year. And there's reason to believe. We also pointed out the Jazz, their next home loss is the 114th prime. It's the 114th day of the NBA season. The Rockets and Kings is another close one. If Houston wins against the Kings, they'll get their 131st series win, which is the 32nd prime. They'd also get their 32nd win of the season. And then the Spurs and Warriors, we found out that Aldridge and DeRozan aren't playing. So Spurs are definitely down on their those are arguably their 2 best players. So if the Spurs win, bettors are going to be mad. Everyone's thinking that the Spurs have laid down for that game. So the thing was for this game is the Warriors win. They cut the deficit in win losses to 47 on a 47 date, and the game's exactly 47 days after Steph Curry's birthday. So Berkeley's making the point about the Warriors becoming 22-7 at home. Again, 22 divided by 7's pi. Steph Curry's got the Pi Day birthday. Klay Thompson's got the Pi name. They're the Pi team. And don't forget, this is the 73rd NBA season. The word number is 73. Just like how Pi Day is the 73rd day of the year, Steph Curry's birthday, 73rd NBA season. Warriors set the win mark at 73. I think out of all the picks tonight, I think probably a good risk is right here, because that's the one that's going to pay out. Okay, let's switch over to NHL real quick. Let's see if we can find some low hangers. The NHL has been we only got 2 games tonight, huh? It's too bad. Okay, so again, our date numerology, 47, 20, 27, 8. I see right away the Senators have a chance at their 20th win. This would be a big upset right here. because the Maple Leafs are one of the better teams. Let's check that out real quick. It's the 118th game, 62-43. Ottawa Senators, right? Yeah. Let's see here. Ottawa 37. We're on the 37th day of the year. Ottawa Senators 30. Ottawa Senators 47. We got a 47 date numerology. Let's see those Leafs. Maple Leafs is 36, just like Toronto. Huh. Toronto. Well, I wish there was another connection, like to the city name or the nickname. The one thing the Senators have going for them is that chance of that 20th win on the 20 date. Let's see the odd shark here. Oh, whoops, that's not what I want. So Maple Leafs, huge home favorite. Ottawa's won 7 of the last 10. I think it was Suave. It was somebody who pointed out that, yeah, so I just looked at the chat. Suave's talking about the goalies right now. Suave's made some good observations with the goalies in hockey. So Suave says the Senators goalie can pick up his 15th win of the season, and of course 47 is the 15th prime. All right, so there's reason to believe the Senators could upset the Maple Leafs. Again, I'd like to see a deeper connection with the city and team names. It's not there, but the date numerology and then the stat that Suave has about the goalie. Suave, where do you pick up your goalie stats for the hockey? Imagine you do it just like this. So Craig Anderson. Craig Anderson. Let's see here. So this is how you do it. Okay, so he can get his 15th win tonight. I see exactly what you're saying on the 47 day. All right, I'm going to watch that tonight. That may be another good variable to build that extra confidence in these NHL picks. But NHL's been about I'd say at least 70% of the games have been following the date numerology. So. And the Maple Leafs are big favorites here. All right, let's look at the Rangers and the Bruins. Rangers and the Bruins. All right, hold on. I closed the wrong window. So the Bruins, wow, look at all those games. Are either of those numbers prime? Nope. Nope. All right, so nothing super standout about the head-to-head there. Go back and look at this. '64th game of the season. Wait. 54th game. 54th game for both. Oh, no, 53rd for the Rangers. Okay, hold up. Bruins. Bruins, 83, the 23rd prime. Yeah, so they could get the 23rd win or loss. That doesn't help. Austin. Boston Bruins. No. Bruins goalie. Tuukka Rask. So he's going for a 17th win or 9th loss. Check the Toronto Maple Leafs real quick. I don't see anything for their goalies. You know what else I noticed? The Maple Leafs goalie, he can get his 12th. So coming back to the NHL, the Maple Leafs goalie can get his 12th loss tonight. And again, it's the 37th day of the year, the 12th prime. So I think there's reason to believe the Senators can pull this out, even though they're big underdogs. I think there is reason to believe. Take a peek at the chat real quick. Let's see. So Schwab's using this stat called the daily face-off. Okay, nice. Nice website. Daily Face-Off. Got to remember this one. Let me bookmark it. Daily Face-Off. Very nice. Thank you, Suave. Yeah. Well, the numbers are good here for the Senators to pull off an upset. Goes both ways with the goalies. All right, let's check out college basketball real quick. Maryland, let's see, 24th game, 8-4. I'm just going to scan real quick and just see if there's anything that jumps out with the date numerology. Anybody going for their 20th win, for example? Nope. All right, let's do this real quick. Going to be the 8th game, and they can get their 6th win. They can become 6-2 against Nebraska on the date 6-2. I don't think I'd go against that. Nebraska's a favorite, huh? Nebraska's a favorite. That's interesting. We do have the 8 date. Somebody's either going to pick up their 9th loss or 9th win. Isn't Nebraska 26 now that I think about it? Nebraska's 26. So on this date, Nebraska can become 2-6 against Maryland. How you spell Terrapins? Yeah. Okay. Creighton, Villanova. Let's see it. Let's see the head-to-head here. Creighton, 16th game, 12-3. So the thing about the 13th win on the 6th is 13's the 6th prime. 13's the 6th prime. Creighton. Creighton's got those Jesuit names. Villanova, the Catholic school. It's Creighton's nickname. Blue Jays. 23 is the 9th prime. They're already 9-0. They're a 9-point favorite. 151, that's the 36th prime. Villanova's 36. That year they beat North Carolina, there were 151 points in the game. But 13th win on the 6th, that has the math relationship. It would keep Creighton at 13 wins overall on the 6th, too. All right, Minnesota, Wisconsin. What? That's wrong, that's why. Wisconsin, the 123rd game, 67-55. 68's the big basketball number. Wisconsin equals 55. Go back and look at this. Where's the I want to see where the University of Minnesota campus is. In the Twin Cities. So it's on the 93rd meridian. So it's on the 93rd meridian. The reason I want to look at that is because I just see that Wisconsin can become 9-3 in the Big Ten, winning in the 93 location. Again, Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. Minnesota Timberwolves 93 on the 93rd meridian. And today has the Saturn's the 6th planet. Saturn has the 93 connection. So I'm thinking that's a good location to become 9-3. What's Wisconsin? The Badgers? Is that what their school name is? Badgers. That would make Minnesota 6-6 on the 6th, too. There wasn't anything for the Bruins-Rangers game that I could come away with, Carl. I just stayed away from that game. For what you guys said about the 24/7 chat, you guys can always come back to this video that you're watching now, because once it's over, once this video's over, and then you click on it, then it sets up the chat below the video. And you guys can use the comments there, so you have access to, you're the only people with access to this video. So you guys can come here after this video's over, and instead of using the live chat, you just use the comments below if there's something you want to point out. You know what I'm saying? Here, just real quick, like, for example, go to yesterday's video, you know, because it's going to be the same thing once the video's over. You can just go to any video once it's over. So, I mean, this isn't the sports video, but it's the same thing. You go to the video, you load up the video, and then, well, I make these public once they're over, but not the sports ones. Once you go to the video and load it up, you got the comments down below. So you guys can have a discussion there throughout the day about the games. Okay, so anyway, Wisconsin, I think that 9-3 riddle on the 93rd meridian, I think that's got some good merit to it. And what did I just see with what did I just see a second ago? Badger. You guys, we really have to start paying attention to this. The over-unders a lot of times seem to point to the correct outcome. Like, notice Badgers is 133. The over-unders right there. So Wisconsin's got the 9-3 thing going, and oftentimes I just see when the stats are in this over-under, it points the way. Again, 151 is the 36th prime, Villanova 36. You know, people aren't supposed to know what these things mean. They're just supposed to be numbers. Vegas predictions. Okay, LSU, Mississippi State. LSU, Mississippi State. Let's see. All right, yeah, you guys just stop fighting. Every time Lakin comes here, Lakin, I'm just not sure about you, man, because all you do is you come and you talk shit all the time and throw out predictions like you're 100%, and then, you know, at the end of the day, they're usually mostly all wrong. And then you come back and you do the same thing the next day. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure all NFL season you were saying it wasn't going to be the Patriots, too. So, and now you're bragging about how much money you won off the Super Bowl. Things aren't adding up. But anyway, just don't fight with Lakin because it just seems like that's what he comes here to do. Just come and start fighting in the chat every single time. Sometimes he gives us helpful information, but usually it's just all about, you know, being provoking. All right, LSU, Mississippi State. All right, so 143rd game. We got some Scottish Rite of Freemasonry number there. In light of it being the 143rd game, I see that somebody can get their 78th win. And here's just what that's got me thinking about. Again, Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 143. Scottish Rite alone, 78. So I'm just looking at that number relationship. Let's see here. LSU is the ranked team, but they are favored to lose here. Interesting. The one thing about Mississippi State is they could get their 6th loss on the 6th. Mississippi State could get its 66th win on the 6th as well. Ooh, let's see. We have the 8 date numerology. LSU has a shot at their 8th win. LSU, Tigers. Mississippi State could get their 17th win over the LSU Tigers. 59 to 17 prime. I don't like this game because I can see it both ways. But if I got to favor one, I favor Mississippi State because of that thing with the record. That 78th loss for LSU in the 143rd game. But yeah, I don't really like that one. All right, Nevada, Colorado State. Nevada, Colorado State. Let's see here. So it's the 19th game. That's the 8th prime. Nevada's already at 8 losses. They could potentially become 11-8 in this game. It's their 23rd game of the season, and they can get their 9th win in the conference. That's probably going to happen. And Colorado could stay at 9 wins in their 23rd game. It's a big spread anyway. It's not a great pick. But yeah, good reason to believe Nevada pulls it out. The overall standings make sense. The season standing makes sense. So again, what we saw with Maryland is they could become 6-2, or Nebraska, from their perspective, they could fall to 2-6 against Maryland on the date that's just like this, plus Nebraska equals 26. Villanova. What was it about Villanova? Villanova had something going on in their favor. It was something about their, oh yeah, Villanova could get their 13th win against Creighton on the 6th, 13, the 6th prime. Creighton could stay at 13 wins. Wisconsin can become 9-3 in the land of 93, Minneapolis, Minnesota on the 93rd meridian. So I'm gonna trust that that's the case. LSU. You can make an argument either way for this game, but Mississippi State had the good riddle in the overall standings. They can get their 66th win on the 6th day of the month, give LSU the 78th loss in the 143rd game, Scottish Rite numbers. And Nevada should beat Colorado State, but it's a big spread anyway. Okay. So again, just a quick review, everything we looked at. And if anybody wants to call in or make a point about something, the number, you guys know the number, 509-731-0567. To me, the Nuggets Nets is a game to stay away from. Can make an argument either way. If you're in some pick'em thing where you got to pick every game, I might pick the Nets just because the Nuggets have a chance to stay at 37 wins on the 37th day of the year and pick up their 13th away loss, where Nets equals 13. But I'd really just stay away from this game because you can make an argument either way. Bulls, they got good reason to believe they can become 13-41, 41 the 13th prime, get a 6th win in their 26th home game. That relationship was 6-26. Anthony Davis sitting out. I saw you guys saying something in the chat about the Wizards upsetting the Bucks. There wasn't super clear numbers either way, but there was enough to believe that the Bucks should get the W at home. Milwaukee's 37. It's the 37th day of the year. They made them a 12-point favorite, 37 the 12th prime. Here, since you guys are having a conversation about this, we can look at it real quick. What was it about the head-to-head again? 212th game. It was that the Bucks could become 119 and keep the Wizards at 93. Those are Saturn numbers, and another Saturn number is 26, kind of like today's date, February 6th. So I'm thinking the Saturn numbers prevail on this date. Wizards can also get that 21st away loss on the 6th. 21 is the 6th triangular number. They'd be 6-21. Hornets, Mavericks. The narrative for the Hornets is becoming 27-27 on the 27 date. It's also an 8 date. The Hornets could get their 8th away win and give the Mavericks their 8th home loss. There was something else, though, that gave the Mavericks a little narrative, too. What was it? The Hornets can get that 19th win on the date with 8 numerology. 19 is the 8th prime. Maybe it was something about the home court record. I felt like there was something we saw that could go in Dallas's favor. It was that they could get their 21st win at home on the 6th, where there's the relationship with 21 and 6. 21 is the 6th triangular number. So it seems like the Hornets have more narratives. The Mavericks have that one little narrative. Suns Jazz. This could be the one that pays today. The Jazz's next loss is, I believe, 619. Whatever number it is, it's the 114th prime number. It's the 114th day of the year. It's the 37th day of the year, the 12th prime. Somebody has a shot at their 12th win. And notice Utah's a big favorite at home. So could there be an upset on the board? Rockets Kings. Another game with a narrative that could go either way. But I think the Rockets have a little more edge in this one. Can they get their 131st win all-time, the 32nd prime, 32nd win of the season as well? Kings could get the 26th loss on 2-6. And Spurs Warriors. Warriors are a big favorite. Berkeley had the good observation that with the Pi rituals, good reason to believe the Warriors win their next 3 at home and get to 22-7. I just wonder if the Warriors are going to cover that spread. Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan are out, so I imagine the majority of bettors will say, oh, yeah, they'll probably cover the spread since the Spurs stars are out, but spreads are always dangerous. Yeah, and the Mormons do use the King James version with their own special additions to it. It's the doctored King James version. Also in the NHL, the Maple Leafs are a big favorite, but the Senators, they got a shot at number 20 in the win column on a 20 date. And for the goalies, we have 47 date numerology and the 37th day of the year. 47 is the 15th prime. The Senators goalie with the win gets his 15th. And the Maple Leafs goalie with the loss gets his 12th. So whether you want to take the money line or take the Senators to cover whatever the spread is, I think the Senators have reason to believe. And Bruins Rangers, I don't see anything in that game. So I would personally stay away from that one. And Glitch in Your Matrix has a great comment in the chat about the potential 2-2-7 thing. Very interesting about those teams. I'll keep an eye on that. Good work. All right, you guys, we'll leave it there for today. Be back tomorrow. Good luck with your picks. Remember, if you want to have a conversation about this stuff, you're going to do additional research today and dig, you can come back to this video and use the comment section because it's only going to be open to you guys. So remember, go into the video. Just one more time, I'll show you that. You guys know how to get to the video, obviously. When you load up the video and click the YouTube icon after the video is over and just scroll down, you'll see the comments. Not the ones that are actually on the Patreon wall. But like here, just to go to yesterday's sports decode. So you can do this for each day. You come up with an additional observation. Once the video is over and it's not live streaming, then you get the comments section. And you guys can come down here and say, oh, look, I caught this. And share that with the community. The problem with doing it on the wall, which should be the good place, is obviously the trolls. They live in that territory. So All right, guys. We'll leave it there for today. Appreciate you being in the discussion. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a call before we wrap it up. We got a caller. What's up, caller?
Okay, Zach, I need to get this in. My friend Auspicious just had a brilliant observation. You know, we were talking about the 113 in the next home loss, 113th prime for the Jazz.
Uh-huh.
Think about, you know, how we're talking about the King James riddle.
Uh-huh.
LeBron James equals 114. And the 113th is 119. And King James was born on June 19th.
That's very true. That's very true. The King James was born on June 19th. Huh, I never thought of that before. And then LeBron James equals 114. That's funny.
Yeah. And the Suns' next regular season win is 2,179, 327th prime. King James passed on 3/27.
Say that again about the say that one more time.
The Suns' next regular season win is the 327th prime, and King James passed on 3/27.
That's crazy. Okay, so that might be the upset special of the day then.
So we'll see. I don't know. ESPN gives them a 7.5% chance. So I mean, we'll see. But there's just a lot of numbers to perhaps the King James tribute. So
yeah, amazing.
We'll find out. All right, thank you.
All right, great work. Appreciate it. So yeah, that is something else. 619, the 114th prime, King James's birthday, June 19th. LeBron James equals 114. They call him King James. He won the only championship for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday. Remember, today's the 114th day of the NBA season, and the Jazz can pick up their 619th home loss. So, very interesting. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your day. Keep up the good work. And Lakin, if you're still here, man, if you could just not fight and brag in the chat, you'd have a lot more respect in the community. Because, I mean, you haven't been here for a while because there was like 3 days of guarantees in a row that all went south on you, and then you haven't been here for a long time. So I don't understand always why the big, bold picks and then, you know, running your mouth the way you do. Until next time, Truth Seeker.